Broadcaster Nell Zabi and former Conservative advisor Salma Shah. Happy Christmas.
Happy Christmas.
And sort of Happy New Year. Was an edging. Labour are preparing for a spring election. But this is very interesting, this inheritance tax. Instant, overnight spike in their poll ratings, which is surprising because most people are never going to pay inheritance. A strangely prolific effect on public opinion.
It's a very middle-class conversation we have. Self and Salma, and I'm assuming yourself and maybe Richard and everybody else in this room also.
It's quite low. So if you leave stamp duty, why should my kids have to...
That's exactly the point, Rod. Why should I pay on this? Because it's the most natural thing ever that you want to pass something down to the next generation, that you've worked really hard so you can leave something behind. And the items, is that the tax cut benefit that's going to help most people? Probably not.
No, and the average anyway, it'll just lose its...
They're not getting the benefits of that. Thatcherism and that access to that capital again.
I suppose also the thing about inheritance tax is people...
Passing on the house. So in London, for example, we look at average house prices across the country. Sorry, I beg your pardon?
Are you for it or against it? Are you for inheritance tax or against it?
I do. I think it's important that we have...
Your estate?
No, it's not the entire estate.
Yeah, 40% of the threshold.
There are very generous... I think we're at a very good place. In terms of where
what about the argument?
The thresholds, it's about the practicalities. Okay. Where are the thresholds set?
I would argue that you have worked for your... So you work to pay the interest, to pay the capital on the actual assets.
There are other taxes.
And they are looking at others, aren't they? They're looking at increasing the threshold at which people...
It's very high, and then you'll probably get a better deal, hopefully.
That's great, but Help to Buy... What we can't help right now is those people are desperate to get on the housing ladder.
Low-hanging fruit for a long time, and I cannot for the life of me understand why nobody's really no one's really plucked.
2 years ago, actually, but the staff as well. The staff who have to pay parking charges, they're making the NHS 46.7 million.
Because it's gone up 8 times.
So these
NHS should be using what is an amenity for this. So he's actually in the right there. He should not be charged.
Neil, if you're watching, that's absolutely true.
And I think it should be almost a consensus policy across the board that parking charges, or so people coming back to
I completely agree with you. Scrap the fees, scrap the fees.
It is
or alternatively from...
Agreed.
I have to say that as a...
Why?
But my local hospital has a brand new multi-storey...
Payment also, I feel that's going to be coming. So Tony Blair mentioned the concept of paying towards actually contributing towards treatment and everything else, which is very... You don't want to be running into the...
I think we're there, yeah. And it's
I think the creep of it is what we need to be careful about.
But
please.
Privatisation is providing a private service on car parking. This is very different to being able to provide private services...
From the NHS.
From the NHS.
For staff.
Themselves.
All right.
We were talking about...